Let's talk about ng content. It is a way of rendering HTML between opening and closing tags within template for the component. What do I mean by rendering HTML between template? Let me show you the example. Here we have 4 bar component. I'm rendering hello world inside the 4 bar. It's a custom component here. Let's say I have created the 4 bar component in Angular, and inside the template file for the 4 bar component I will place the ng content tag. So hello world is rendered here. So why do we need ng content in Angular? If you are building a reusable component, then you need ng content. Let's give a shot how to implement the ng content in Angular. Let's imagine we are going to build the reusable component. I'm going to build the reusable card component from the Bootstrap. You can find the card from the Get Bootstrap documentation. Let me generate the component in the Angular. The name of the component is card, and I don't want spec file. And I want to use inline template. A card component has created. Let me open the card component, and I'm gonna place this code here. Let me do it. I'm gonna run the application. Let me open the app.component.html. I wanna use the app card here. Now you will see the card, but it did not display the image. You can update the source of the image. Let me copy this some random. It will get the random image from this pick some dot photos. Now I got the card here. Let's say I want to build this component as a reusable. Let's say I want to use the card component in the multiple components. So I want to make it reusable. I want to put the dynamic content here. Let's say a user want to display the title as a dynamic. So how can I do it? You can use the ng content. Let's say I'm going to provide the title. Here I want to provide the image, or you can say that heading. I'm going to copy the image here. Let me put it here. So I also want to place body as a dynamic content. I'm gonna copy the same div here, body. It depends on the user. If user wants to add something here, we can allow user to add dynamic content in the body. So I'm going to copy this stuff here. Let me do that. I'm gonna place a div here. I need to paste the body. And how can you render that? How can you render dynamic content? So maybe you're thinking about you can provide the property binding. Let's say maybe you're thinking about, but it's not a best practice to provide the markup in the property binding. That's why we need ng content. So we need to create the selector. I'm telling to Angular, let's create an ng content here. I would like to render the dynamic content here, ng content. And I need to tell the Angular, if any selector starts with heading tag, with heading class, then you need to render that content here. If any content, let me do it here. If any content starts with body tag, body class, then you need to render that HTML inside this ng content. So now our job is to provide the heading and the body class. I'm going to provide the header here. Let's say this is my dynamic content for heading, and this is my body. Wow, that's cool. We have made the reusable component. Let's say you can update the title, car title. You can choose any name here. I'm not going to update it. Now you can use the dynamic content here. Let's say you want to use the app card in multiple times and you don't want to display the description. It's your choice. You don't want to, let's say this time you want to change the color. Let's say you want to change the color of button, you want to change the color of text. You will see 2 times. Now you can see that if we have button go. And that is the magic of ng content.